What's up, everybody? As always, it's great to have you all here. I am your host, Wayne J, and this is Grown Man Talks. Come on in, take a seat. This evening, we're going to be talking about a subject that's pretty tough to talk about. A subject that a lot of people don't like to have, especially us in the Black community. And that subject is Black self-hate and how it's still present in our community today. A lot of us don't like to get into this conversation about Black self-hate because it's a very, very sensitive subject. But I believe it's a subject that needs to be had. Because we're at a crossroads in our society today to whereas, if we don't come together, if we don't figure out that we can't be our own worst enemy, that we're going to destroy ourselves and we're going to aid in those who seek to destroy us merely because we can't seem to come together. If you look at other races, this hardly ever goes on to the degree that it does in the Black community. And I know and I get it, that it's a lot of factors into why that happens, but that doesn't give us an excuse to carry on the behavior. That's all I'm saying. I know that there's a lot of things that happened in the past and a lot of things that's currently happening that feeds that as far as other cultures and the oppression of Black people. I get that. We are responsible for how we come out of this. And what are we going to do about it? Are we going to have a plan going forward to come out of this? And it starts with us, the Black man. We are made in the images of and the likeness of God himself. So we're the tip of the spear as it relates to getting our people out of this condition. We no longer have the luxury of sitting on the sidelines and passing it off to our women. We don't have that luxury anymore unless we're just submitting, unless we're just surrendering and saying that we're not going to fight it. They're saying that we're not going to stand up against it and saying that, we're okay with our people being wiped out at the hands of our own people. I get the whole Black Lives Matter movement. I'm with it all the way. I believe in it. But I also believe that Black lives should matter all the time. Black lives should not only matter when it's white on black crime. Black lives should matter when it's black on black crime. And one of the issues that we have is this culture of no snitching, because it's a code that is misunderstood. It's applied to everything as it relates to when you know that somebody is terrorizing your neighborhood, that you're not supposed to say anything about that. You're not supposed to tell the law when you got somebody in your neighborhood who you know is running around robbing the senior citizens in your neighborhood. You're not supposed to say anything about that or you'll be labeled a snitch. You got people that's running around in your neighborhoods murdering people in your neighborhood, but you're not supposed to say anything about that or you'll be labeled a snitch. You're not supposed to stand up as a Black man first and say, listen, we're not going to tolerate that in our community. We're not going to tolerate robbing and murdering and all manner of crime in our neighborhood under the pretext that we don't want to be labeled as a snitch. Let me give you the history of what a snitch is for some of you who don't understand. Snitching is a term used amongst criminals. It's not for quote unquote people who are not involved in the criminal lifestyle. Let me say that again. Snitching is not supposed to be applied to people who don't participate in criminal activity or who are not a part of the criminal community. The term of snitching is a criminal community term. It means that if you and I go out together to commit a robbery and I get caught and you don't, then I tell the police that you were with me. That's snitching. If you and I go out to rob a bank and you guys get away and I don't, and I tell the police who all you guys were that was with me, that's snitching. Snitching is not if you're not a part of the criminal community and you see little John or Ray Ray knock your neighbor over the head with a brick and rob him. And the police say, do you know who did that? And you say, nope, I don't. Because you don't want to be labeled as a snitch. That's not a snitch. Let me say this. You are not supposed to you're not supposed to allow people to run through your community and do whatever the hell they want to do in your community, commit all kinds of crime that they want to commit in your community, and because you don't want to be labeled as a snitch, you don't say anything about it. It only becomes an issue when it hits your front door. And then you're on news telling about you want people to come forth and say something about it. But when in fact you know about some of the things that go on in your community, then you don't say anything about it. You don't say anything about it. We have to change our mentality as it relates to that, because it's contributing to our demise. It's contributing to our demise. Black on black crime is a real thing. Black lives do matter, but they should matter all the time. And they should matter to each and every one of us. They should matter when anybody commits crimes against our neighbors unjustly. And we know about it. We know who's doing it. And we just act like, it's none of our business. Don't have anything to do with us. It wasn't my grandmother who got hit over the head, so it don't have nothing to do with me. It wasn't my house that got broken, so it don't have nothing to do with me. I mind my business. That's why we stay stuck where we are. I get the things about all the issues that surround this mentality, but what I'm saying is the time has come for us to let go of that way of thinking. The time has come for us to do away with that way of thinking. We can't continue to be our own worst enemy. And it's us as the black men that has to take the lead. And here's what I mean by sometimes we become too passive about what happens in our own community. Our neighbor's home get broken into. And we know who did it. And then we say, it wasn't my house. I ain't getting involved with that. Until it's your house. And then you want to ask the neighbors, do you know who it might have been? And they say, no, just like you did. And the first thing you say is, I know somebody saw who broke in my house. We can't do this. We can't sustain this. We have to come together. We as black men have to take a stand. We as black men have to come together and figure out what's our plan going forward. I'm in. I'll listen to any ideas that anybody might have, any black man. Because it has to start with us first. And then we pull in our women. We fix our homes first. We fix our homes. We don't blindly let our kids run around our homes and do whatever they want to. We don't blindly surrender our homes to our women and sit back and not do what needs to be done. Black men, we got to stand up in every area of our communities, and our homes, and our communities, and whatever religious organizations we belong to. We are the tip of the spear. We have to stand up. We got to change this. Some of us make it out of the ghetto, or from out of poverty, should I say. And the first thing we do is abandon our communities. A lot of us, not all of us, but a lot of us. We don't pour back into that community. We run for the hills. And when we get to those hills, we forget all about those people, our own people, who are still struggling. The education system is failing our kids. The education system is still having some of our children read out and learn out of textbooks that I learned out of 50 years ago. But yet we are not in an uproar about why is this being done and why is this being allowed. We're not in an uproar about why our government is allowing our children to just meander around and be out and about and run the streets during school hours. And nothing's being done about it. Or because we don't have the money to be chasing kids around. Well, you have money for everything else. It's because they're not investing in our kids. And if we're not going to hold them to account for being invested in our children, they definitely are not. Let's start with us as black men. We surrendered our authority as black men to our kids and to our women. And then some of us want to get upset when a woman wants to be the boss of the house. Well, if we're not going to do it, if we're not going to do it, then what you expect her to do? If our teenage son is running around in our house, not listening, not following rules, because he thinks that you don't have any power. And the first thing we say, some of us, is, I can't do nothing about it. All you're going to do is call the police on me. Well, I submit that he should be calling the police a lot. Because every time he break a rule in your house, you as the leader, as the man in that house, supposed to put him in his place. Without fear whether he going to call the police. He can call the police, go right ahead. But every time he doesn't listen, every time he's breaking a rule in your house, every time he's being disrespectful, he or she, then we as men, we have to put our foot down and put a stop to it right then and right there. The first time it happens. And lead as examples. We go to our jobs. We do the best that we can to support our families. We model what we want our sons to be like, our daughters to be like. We can't become our kids' best friend. We can't walk around with our pants hanging off our rear end like our son does. We can't be saying things like, yeah, I mean, see what I'm saying? You get me your homeboys and we can't talk like that. Because then we look just like the kids, and the kids are watching. You trying to act like them. You trying to be in with them. No leadership. They've become the pseudo leaders of you. You're sitting up smoking marijuana with them. You're drinking with them. You're actually standing out on the corners with them and hanging out, wanting to hang out with their little buddies. And moms, you doing this too, trying to be like your daughters and their girlfriends. The kids have no leadership. The kids have no leadership. Black on black crime. Seriously? Seriously? This is what we doing. This is what we doing. Listen, I'm going to say this because it's a thing in my city. I don't know about the town that you're from, but here in Baltimore where I'm from, it's a thing. I'm sick of the bottles, the balloons, and the damn teddy bears. I'm sick of these pseudo memorials. I'm sick of the tennis shoes hanging from the damn electric lines. I'm sick of it. And for all of you who don't know what I'm talking about the pseudo memorials that pop up all over the inner city when another black person has killed another black person. You can drive down any street in Baltimore City and you'll see all these pseudo memorials all over the place with liquor bottles and teddy bears and balloons tied to the light posts as a memorial to another dead black person. And guess what? At the hands of another black person. You'll see tennis shoes hanging from the electric power lines as another symbol of another black person killed by another black person. What is this? What is this? Did you, during the days of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, did you see our people running around and erecting memorials of dead black people at the hands of other black people? And it becoming a thing. It becomes a thing. And all this releasing of balloons up in the air. Every time another black person has killed another black person. T-shirts, I'm sick of it. With another black person that's dead at the hands of another black person. What are we doing? What are we doing? This is madness. This is madness. These things is being looked at as almost like some kind of symbol of something great. We become so desensitized to our own people killing our own people. It's like, oh well, somebody killed little 14-year-old Ray Ray last night. Oh yeah. You know that Joanne's daughter got murdered last night? She was only 14. That's a shame. But yet Black Lives Matter. Do they? Do they? When? When do Black Lives Matter? they don't matter as long as it's a black person killing a black person, right? That's a question. And I'm not trying to be condescending, but I am fed up. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm fed up. What do we do? When are we going to wake up? I submit the time is now. Time is running short, y'all. Time is running short. We don't have another 10, 15, 20 years to continue on this place. Y'all don't think wiping out your own race is a real thing? You don't think that's a real thing? At the current pace, do you think that there's going to be any black men left that continue to have and reproduce children? If half of them is in the ground and the other half is in prison, who's going to reproduce the children? How? How do we survive? How do we survive? As a race of people. How? We responsible for that. In spite of and regardless of whatever else is going on. We are responsible for making sure that our race, that we as a people survive. That's on us. That's on us. And we can't do it from the grave and we can't do it from prison. We gotta change this, guys. We gotta come together. I know that might sound like a foreign concept to some, but it's necessary. Change we must or die we will. Let that sink in. Change we must or die we will. And we ain't gonna have anybody to blame for it but ourselves. Because we're the only ones responsible for making sure that our race survives. So let's get together. Black men. Myself is included in that. And I'm willing to have a conversation with all my brothers. Listen to all ideas. Bringing the young, the old, the middle age, whatever. The pastors, the police officers, all of us. Black men. A one-off march is not going to do it. A million-man march, that's a great concept. And what happened after that? Nothing changed. Nothing changed. We need an ongoing, continuous solution to this problem. And we all got to invest in it. The football game shouldn't be more important than our saving our people. The baseball game, the basketball game. Worrying about whether LeBron James is the GOAT or Michael Jordan is the GOAT. That should not be. Listen, there's some serious stuff going on. We're losing our race. We're losing our race. People, at this rate, we can't sustain. It's serious. Because young black men is dying at a younger and younger age. You know what that means? They're not producing. They're not reproducing. Young black men are going to prison for life sentences at a rate never before in the history of this country. You know what that means? They're not going to reproduce. And I get that people's going to come out and say, well, it's the system. It is. But what are we going to do about fighting against the system? I'm not saying that the system's not in place. I'm not even saying that it's not rigged against you. But what I am saying is we are responsible for how we respond to the system. What do we do about the system? How do we design our own system? A system in which we thrive. A system in which we persevere. A system in which we start to care about each other. A system where we start to take care of our communities. A system where we start to take care of our homes. A system where we start to take care of our women, children. Our own system. We got to reimagine our own system. And not just keep crying about the system that's currently in place, because that's not going to change. It's going to get even worse. So if you're waiting for the system to change to help us out of this crisis, that's not happening. So we got to come up with a system, black men. And when we develop a system that's going to change all this, then we pull in our women. Because we know for sure that if we as black men lead from a position of strength, that our black queens will follow us. They'll be more than happy to. And for the ones that don't want to follow, oh well, that doesn't mean we as black men give up. Sure, it's going to be some black women that's not going to want to follow us. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that we don't need to buckle down and do what we got to do. God created us in his image. God don't surrender. God don't give up. God don't give in. God is God, and he's God all the time. He never changes. And if he created us in his image, as the word clearly says, he expects the same thing from us. He expects the same thing from us. Do what's right. Be what's right. Carry yourself with some dignity, some pride, some self-respect. Demand respect from those who don't respect you. Don't settle for being disrespected as a man. And I'm not talking about resorting to violence. I'm talking about being a leader of your home, your community, and your whatever religious organization you belong to, or if you don't. But let your walk command respect. Let your walk as a man, your example of a strong black man, command respect from others. And don't settle for less. Let's get at it. Come on, y'all. We can do this. Man, I'm holding back tears right now. Because I hurt so bad for my people. I hurt so bad for my people. Because I'm so afraid that maybe not in my generation, but there's going to come a time when we may not exist in this country no more. And the sad part about it is because we're going to be killing each other at such a rate that we can't produce no more. We can't produce no more babies. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? I'm open to ideas. I'm open to finding some common ground, man. We can't go on like this, y'all. We can't. No more balloons, bottles, and teddy bears, y'all. No more balloons, bottles, and teddy bears. Let's unite, black men. Let's come together, black men. Let the rich amongst our black men pour into the poor of our black men. Let those who have power and influence and money, black men, reach down and help up the black man who don't have it. We need y'all support. We need y'all. The people of this world, the billionaire black men, the millionaire black men, the well-to-do black men, the ones that's underneath of you, the poor black men, need your help. Need your support. We don't have the resources. Some of us is not as athletically gifted as you guys. Some of us is not as intellectually smart as you guys. But we can do other things. But it takes finances. And we have it. It's more black wealth in this country right now than ever in the history of this country. But yet black people and black men still find themselves at the bottom of the totem pole. It's because we get abandoned by our own people once one of us makes it out. It's not enough of us supporting the black man. We have this attitude, well, I got mine, he got his to get. I made this money, you didn't. Just like I got mine, you get yours. Well, help us get ours. Help us get ours. That's the attitude that keeps us down right there. It's all about me and what I got. And mine is mine. When much is given, much is required. You can't ask a man that has $2 to help a man a man that only has $2 to pull up a man that don't have nothing. Because he only got $2. But here's the thing. Here's something. Here's an example. You can see some poor black people standing out begging. And you'll see some black people stop and give them $1. And they don't have millions and billions to give. But from the little bit that they have, they find it within their heart to give that person $1. Imagine if the millionaires and billionaires amongst us black men had that same way of thinking about our fellow black man. Imagine what that could do. Oh, he's going to go get drunk with it. He's going to go get high with it. Pour into some treatment centers. Pour into some transitional housing. Pour into some trade schools to help them to stop begging. Because hopelessness is a real thing. With all that money that's in the black community, how much of that goes into drug treatments, job training, housing assistance? How much? Charter schools for young black boys. Incentivized schooling for young black boys to where if they go to school, If you meet this march, then I'm gonna help you with this. If you meet this mark, then I'm gonna help you with this. If you meet this mark, then yes, we are. I'm literally talking about a reward system for our young black men. If that's the only way we get there, then the hell with it, then so be it. Because like no other time in history, our kids work off of reward systems. Because their mentality is different than ours when we were kids, when I was coming up. They respond to rewards. They respond to that. They respond to it. It's like that. If I go to school and I pass, I'm getting this brand new, them Jordans I want. I ain't got to go rob nobody to get it because all I got to do is go to school for X amount of days. My attendance good. My grades good. It's a foundation that's going to make sure I'm dressed appropriately. Reward system. What's wrong with that? We got to start thinking outside the box, black men, of how we going to engage our young black men, our young black boys. We got to think outside the box. How are we going to get them in school and keep them there? How are we going to get them to believe in something greater other than themselves? How are we going to do that? It's doable, but it's going to take all of us. And I don't know if this message is going to reach the rich among us, but I'm going to put it out there that we need you. We got to change what we're doing. And we got to have to hold our elected officials accountable for getting the guns out of our communities. We have to have relentless pressure on our government officials about guns in our community. I'm talking about never-ending pressure. The LeBron Jameses of the world, the Michael Jordans of the world, the Mark Jacksons of the world, the Jaden Hursts of the world, all these super influential people. We need your help. We need you guys to start speaking out more about black violence. We need you guys, man. Your voice matters. You can use your voice to speak out against other stuff, to influence other things. We need your voice to speak out against gun violence. We need your voice to speak out against elected officials that's not doing enough to stop gun violence in our communities. We're the most richest, powerful country in the world. You're not going to convince me that we can't stop guns from pouring into the inner city. You're not going to convince me that that's not doable. That's a lie out of the pits of hell. It can be stopped. It can. It's high time for us as black men to say we're not going to tolerate it no more. We're not going to let you elected officials get away with it no more, saying we're doing all we can. No, you're not doing enough then. And demanding more. Thousands. Listen to what I just said. Thousands of black men are being killed every year. Thousands. And y'all think we can just continue that on? Here's why we can't. Because we're not having as many black male babies at the same rate. We outpacing it. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Are y'all in? I'm in. Black men, let's have a conversation about saving our communities and getting rid of this black self-hate, self-loathing, low self-esteem. I need you, you need me, and our community need us. Until next time, everybody, peace out.